Hello everyone and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian filling in for Jimmy Rogers. Well, there was a special farewell Wednesday afternoon in the Sally Port of the Hopkins County Jail for retiring Sheriff Butch Adams and his Chief Deputy Ricky Morgan. There was a brief ceremony hosted by Sheriff-elect Lewis Tatum.
This is kind of an informal get-together for Butch and Ricky. Just wish them a goodbye. Of course, we ain't seen Ricky in a long time anyway, but no. Just show our appreciation for all they've done for us over all these years. And as we get started, I'd like to get the judge to give her invocation.
Well, let's pray together. Well, Father, we just say thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for the wonderful events that are happening here in Hopkins County as retirement after many, many years of service to our county, Butch and Ricky. And we just say thank you so much for the service that they've performed for this county, for this city. We ask blessings upon their life in the future. And Lord, we see that there's been food put before us. We ask that you'll bless that as well. Bless our time together, all to the glory of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
You would like me to introduce?
Yes.
I'd like to introduce, while I'm up here, Lori Grennan with Congressman Ratcliffe's office, and she has a presentation this afternoon. So where is Lori? Here she comes. Come on up, Lori. And we're really pleased and thankful to have you here today, representing our congressman.
It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here on behalf of Congressman Ratcliffe. And this is quite a momentous occasion. I'm a former Rockwall County Commissioner, so I've got a little bit of background in county government, and to be a sheriff for 20 years is an incredible statement, not only just in service, but just endorsement by the community. So congratulations to a job well done, a retirement well deserved, and Mr. Ratcliffe asked that we have a flag, a U.S. flag flown over the Capitol on behalf of Butch Adams, and we've got a certificate that shows that it was flown for you, so I wanted to congratulate you.
We've got a few things we'd like to present Butch with before we start to eat. Has anybody got anything they want to say? Please come on up, any kind of comments. Dennis, I can't really get anything. You sure?
I'd like to say a few words. We look alike. We have the same last name. This is my first cousin. Our daddies were brothers. Butch has always been in our family a source of pride because he stayed out of jail. So many of the Adamses ended up in jail, and I ended up helping build jails. But one of my goals before he retired is to help him get in a new jail in sheriff's office, and that happened. And again, we want to thank all of y'all for your support in making that project happen. Butch, I know that you've looked forward to retiring. Maybe we can do some fishing.
That sounds good.
Well, right there's the reason he stayed out of jail. Right there, two of them. He stayed out of jail. Mom. Yeah. You're going to need to open that up. Well, you're going to have her help. Beth, can you come up and help him?
I get somebody to take a picture.
This is Dolly Parton.
Hey, Dolly Martin. I don't think she'd get in the box.
Thank y'all very much, Michelle, Lewis, Sandra.
And Sam and Linda, too.
Big frame picture of you.
Yeah, the picture of me.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Pretty cold at mine.
A lot of them are your shirt sleeves that you cut off.
Well, just to warn you, you'll be sleeping with my mom, so you better behave. That is awesome. Thank y'all.
Rick, you want to say anything else before we start eating? Come on, Rick, you make a speech.
Well, I'll just say thank each and every one of you that were here and those that I know would like to have been here. And because of you, I did my 20 years. That was my goal. And I've got some great people that work for me, with me, and great family, both immediate and second family. And I certainly appreciate y'all letting me go the ride. Thank you.
The special quilt was done by Sheriff-elect Tatum and his wife Michelle, and Sheriff Adams suspected his mother was also involved. I talked with Ricky Morgan and Sheriff Adams. What are you retiring for now?
What am I retiring for?
Yeah.
I'm just going to step down and let the new crew come in, the younger crew come in and take over.
How many years for you, Ricky?
29 years and 2 months.
Wow.
All right here at Hopkins County.
With the Sheriff's Office?
Right here, yes, with the Sheriff's Office.
And you've been Chief Deputy for?
Let me see, 20
years?
20 years. 20 years. 20 years.
The entire time Butch was here?
Yeah, right, 20 years, yeah. 10 years on the street patrol and then 20 as his Chief Deputy.
What's the main role of Chief Deputy? What are your
Just
duties?
keeping the patrol organized, just everyday daily operations of the Sheriff's Department, helping the Sheriff run the Sheriff's Department financially and with the employees.
It's been a great ride, huh?
It has been.
What's your favorite part of the experience when you think back on it?
Just all the friends that I've made, they're family now.
Yeah. Well, what do you plan to do in retirement? What do you hope to do?
I'm going to still continue flying, do my flight instructing, fish a lot more, I hope, and spend more time with my wife. Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan for you.
I'm ready to get it started.
Let's go ahead and get Sheriff Butch Adams here. How's it feeling at the end of your regime here?
Well, I basically set the goal of 20 years, and when I hit it, I'm done. I was ready to go. So with the police department here, makes it 39 and a half years of fun. It's had its trials and tribulations, but it's been fun, and I've enjoyed it.
You did your time and don't even have to go on probation.
Yeah. I might get kicked out of the county line, but I don't know about that. Lewis is here.
I know you were very pleased with the transition and everything with Lewis coming in as a person that you strongly believe in.
Yeah, I'll put the disclaimer in. I tried to teach him everything, just in case.
I hope you're on speed dial.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I will be.
Sheriff, what kind of plans do you have? What would you like to do now?
Well, like with this one, I'll have 6.5 grandkids, one in March, and then my mother, she can keep me busy. She forgets I'm 61 years old. And then had him started with my wife and around the house, but I'll probably reserve a little bit just to keep my license and go from there.
As you think back, what are some of the things you think you'll remember? Obviously, this facility will be up near the top of your list.
Yeah. Well, my wife was in gynecology a lot way back. So when they did remodel, I got my name on the plaque at the courthouse, and I've got this one. So hopefully most of them won't cuss me, but they'll say, yeah, I heard of him. So I've enjoyed it, every bit of it.
Yeah. It's good that you can think about the good things and not dwell on some of those other things that happen.
Yeah, like escapes. Yeah, that would be the bad things.
Beth Weisenbaker is also retiring after 20 years as Hopkins County Commissioner in Precinct 1, and I talked with Commissioner Weisenbaker.
And Don, it's been such a joy to work with you and Doug. Y'all have always been such fair journalists, and I want you to know, in a position of elected office, it's so nice to have journalists that they're going to tell the story. They don't flavor it, you just tell it. And that's what I was taught journalism was. And Doug's usually very kind to me. Thank you, Doug.
Quite a trailblazer you were, and one of the first females, kind of in a real position of power, and I guess that took transition for the county to kind of get used to that. Huh?
You know, it did. I almost stepped up there and talked to Butch. When I very first came in office, I served with a wonderful court. It was Joe Minner, H.W. Holcomb, Calvin Prince, and Don Patterson. But I think they were like, what do we do with a woman on the court, But they were wonderful to work with. I think I'm an easy target for a lot of the jokes that they pulled on me. I could go through a list, but we won't, considering I'm on the air. And it was wonderful to work with them. But yeah, I was a trailblazer, and I always say how much I appreciated the people that trusted to put me in office, because I was up front all along. I had a good business background, but I had to learn road construction, and I have. The one thing I've never learned to do over 20 years is to build a road without the appropriate amount of money. And there's somehow or other we'll face that challenge, and I've moved it on down the road, but I feel good. I've left the precinct in better shape than it was when I came, and I've met a lot of challenges at county government. Cleaning out my office, oh my goodness, it was like a walk through time. Lots of stuff.
I think about you, I always think about the things that happened to the courthouse over the years. You really took that on as one of your pet projects, was to really make the courthouse special.
Thank you. I did, and I've always loved history, but when we did the restoration of the courthouse, and I worked with the legislature in helping pass that bill, we worked with the grant program, and I always want to say we, not I, but we worked all through that system. I fell in love with that courthouse, and to me the favorite thing that I've done the whole time was when they stripped it down to the bare bones, and you could go inside and you could see all the architecture that was exposed, and the history of that building was just wonderful. So that's probably, I say that's my pride and joy, but then I look at the fire station and I think, wow, we put emergency services on the south side of the interstate. We've gotten a full-time fire department. And then I look out at the pavilion, and we did that, and we did network agreements with the interlocals with the school. Look at the auditorium now because of an interlocal. We built this jail, and it's just, it goes on and on. A county commissioner, to me, out of all the elected offices that anybody could possibly hold, it is the best that somebody could do for a public service. I know them. I'm able to see the impact immediately, good, bad, or ugly. I will find out about what a decision I had made, and then you move forward from there. So you get to see stuff move, and you get to impact it directly.
What are your goals now? What would you like to do as you step down?
Did you know right now I'm just ready to not be responsible? And that's honestly, I'll be able to turn over during the middle of the night when a storm comes up and go and just go back to sleep. I'm ready to be not responsible if somebody has an accident on the county road. I don't automatically think, what did I do wrong that I could have prevented, Now, I'm going to do what I really always wanted to do, was be a housewife and a mom and a grandmom. Donnie's going to get a hot meal and clean clothes on a timely basis. I don't know. I love this community. I do. I love Hopkins County and the people here. I'm going to do something. I'll volunteer my time. I'll do whatever. But for right now, Beth's going to be at home, taking care of her house, and maybe mow the yard. I don't know. The house is one thing. Getting yard work. I've always said when I'm old and can't do anything else, then I'll get out and do yard work.
20 years ago, Donnie Weisenbaker showed up at a meeting of the Hopkins County Commissioners Court. It was the first court meeting for Beth Weisenbaker, then the newly elected county commissioner in Precinct 1. Wednesday morning, Donnie Weisenbaker returned to Commissioners Court. It was County Commissioner Beth Weisenbaker's last court meeting. During the meeting, the court recognized Commissioner Weisenbaker for her 20 years of service and presented her with a plaque. Mickey Barker will be sworn in as County Commissioner in Precinct 1 after January 1st. Barker survived a primary battle to replace Ms. Weisenbaker, who decided not to run for another term. Wednesday morning, the Hopkins County Commissioners Court also approved the purchase of a special fire truck. I talked with County Fire Chief Andy Inslee about that new truck.
And we're very proud of that. We put a lot of research into this apparatus we're buying. It's going to be beneficial to the citizens of Hopkins County. Like Commissioner Bartley said earlier, back when Hopkins County Fire Department came into existence, really one of the main goals was to help with brush fires and grass fires such as that, and structural fires a little bit. Wasn't a big key factor in it because at the time they weren't near as big homes as it was back in 1999 as there is today. Most houses building out in the rural area of Hopkins County are very large homes. I mean, the 2,000 square foot homes are really becoming a thing of the past. You're looking at 3,000 to 4,000 square foot homes, and we just didn't have the adequate equipment that we needed to do that type of service. We're all around our fire department. We do a variation of everything out there, and rightfully so, what we should do, because that's what the citizens pay for.
Yeah. This is a large truck. Would give you a lot of capability out in a big brush fire.
Yeah, we'll have actually an auxiliary pump on top of the apparatus where we spec'd it. There's very few like that out there. Of course, Hopkins County Fire is a very unique fire department as it is. We're one of the only few in the state of Texas, if not the only one that just does where we supplement the volunteers and the volunteers supplement us from the Hopkins County Fire Station over on Texas and League Street. So yes, it's a Class A pumper. So we'll have 1,000 on board water. So we'll that's a big changer for us, a game changer for us right there. Yeah. And we'll have a 1,250 gallon per minute pump. Now that doesn't mean we're going to dump that 1,000 gallons in a minute. That's if ever discharge was discharging water. We have the capabilities of that, and that's what we need in those larger structures to do that type of job.
Actually, today, did they just approve the purchase of it?
Yes, approve the purchase of it because no, it will not arrive. It has a 90-day build. The company we decided to go with, they already had the chassis and the cab already pre-built. They're all pretty much the same on that side of it. Where we get the unique side of us is we get to build the back end of it, where the boxes, the compartments, we get to lay that out very organized way that we want it to do. We'll get to go right the first year. We'll do what they call a pre-build, and we spec everything out like we want it to that specified amount that we agreed upon. And from that, we go forward, and we actually get a tour of the plant. The commissioners actually get to go with us. That choose to go. Marshall Matthews, he's really been spearheading this. Mike's been very key player in this side of it, along with all the guys at Station 20. We wanted their input from Hopkins County Fire, all the firefighters, and but Mike's really been in there. He spec'd this truck out. It is Hopkins County. We made history today. It's the first custom Class A pumper that the county's ever owned. Wow. So we're very proud of that. We will expect to get 20 years out of this truck. So.
What's the cost of this?
The cost was $433,000. With that, we had some trade-ins for about $130,000. Plus, Ferrara come back and we renegotiated. We got a $15,000 rebate off of them, and by us ordering before the end of the year, that took an additional $13,000 off of it as well. So we'll have those to the good on it, and we'll have some money that they've been putting back all this time. The Commissioner Court has been, and so we're going to have to finance very little on it. So we're very blessed to have that opportunity.
Yeah. When do we expect to get it?
As soon as we go and do our pre-build and we sign everything that's agreeing on that, we're going to look at a 90-day, so somewhere around April, March time frame. So, but that's very unusual because most of those trucks take about 10 to 12 months to build. And the representative from the company we went with told me today that here in Texas, this past week, they've had 30 orders from the state of Texas alone. And this company's out of Holden, Louisiana. They have a local serviceman that lives in Grand Prairie, so he's available to it. It's got a good long warranty with it as well.
All All right, good news for Hopkins.
Good news for Hopkins County. It has been very well researched out. We went to several other fire departments, talked to them personally, asking their likes, dislikes, and we've had several different vendors to come visit us at Hopkins County and try to solicit us. So we're very pleased and very blessed here at Hopkins County.
A 30-year-old Quinlan man, Gary Allen Lovejoy, who was arrested in Hopkins County more than 2 years ago for online solicitation of a minor, was returned to the county jail Tuesday after an alleged probation violation. The man was recently arrested in Hunt County. Tuesday, Lovejoy was transported from the Hunt County Jail to the Hopkins County Jail. On August 7, 2014, Lovejoy was arrested at his Quinlan home by Hopkins County Sheriff's deputies. He was charged with online solicitation of a minor for sexual conduct. The man thought he was communicating with a 14-year-old girl, but it was actually an investigator with the sheriff's office. The Wildcats basketball team trailed by 1 going into the fourth quarter, but rallied to defeat Pine Tree 69-65 at Pine Tree Tuesday afternoon in the district opener for both teams. After the game, I talked with Wildcats basketball coach Clark Cipolletta.
I was proud of the guys, the way they fought and just came out with the victory. We didn't do the little things, I thought, right to really, help us win the game. We missed a lot of easy shots. Our defense was not even close to where I expected. We gave up a 22-point quarter, an 18-point quarter. We just weren't doing the little things right, being in the right spots, helping the helper. So it put us in some tight situations. And I think in the first quarter they only scored 2 points, but we give up like 15 points of free throws. So it's just kind of one of those games that you just got to battle, a little adversity. And, we found ourselves down where you don't want to be. But, like I said, proud of the guys. I'm glad they came out and glad we won in district.
Yeah, you entered the fourth quarter, I believe, down by 1. I think it was it was a 1-point game, and you had to like the way that they responded in the fourth quarter and eked out the win. Yes,
we got the win is the big story. And late, I thought Dane Rutherford played huge late. Just 2 or 3 plays went our way late to really give us the victory. Dane took a huge charge. Their number 1 has just been scoring like crazy. We couldn't stop him. Everything he threw up went in. So we put Diedrich Godbolt on him, and it kind of changed him up a little bit, made it a little harder for him to score. And then he drove to the lane, and Dane just picks up a huge charge. And that kind of really deflated them, I thought. And then the next play down, Dane gets a huge offensive rebound and puts it back in for a 2. So I just thought a few hustle plays that I didn't see in the first 3 quarters late really, propelled us to that victory.
Talking with Coach Chapman, I don't think there's any tougher game to prepare for in a time when the kids are out of school. It's always a low energy game. It seems like in this week. Right before the Christmas holidays, and the teams look pretty lethargic at times. It's just, this one's a hard one to prepare for, isn't it?
It is, and especially on the road in Pine Tree, it's just a really hard place to play. Those kids play really hard. They're well coached. So when you come out flat like that, it's you're going to find yourself in some tight ball games, and I think that's the bad part about this team. We're just really young and inexperienced in the district play, and if you're a veteran team, you treat every game like it's the district championship game, and I think that's where we need to get if we're going to be really successful. And hopefully, I told the guys, no matter, they're looking at, Pine Tree's record, and theirs is worse than ours, so they thought it would be a breeze. And I explained to them, on any given night, any team could beat anybody, especially in district play. Kids are going to play harder and want more, so, hopefully we don't overlook teams like I thought we did today.
A lot of fouls in the ball game, and I guess foul trouble was part of the deal. And the players, I guess you just have to teach them to try to adapt to the conditions. If it's really touch fouls and stuff, you have to be very careful.
Yes, Longview chapter is just a little different in the way that they call that we're used to, because we play in just different areas. Some places you get away with a little bit more, so you do have to adapt into how teams are calling, and I thought, you know, we were complaining too much about the referees focused on some of those things, and we weren't focused on the things we needed to do within the game to be successful, and that kind of threw off our focus. I think Victor only had 1 point in the first half due to foul trouble.
Wow.
We had to sit him out. Dane was in foul trouble early. I think I had 5 guys with 2 fouls I had to sit. So that just kind of throws off the rhythm of the team. So that we just have to do a better job adjusting.
Now comes a little bit of fun for the players. They get a little bit of Christmas break here, and then you have a holiday tournament go to Longview with some good feel there.
Yes, the guys are. We've been pushing them really hard, and you know we expect a lot out of them. And this will be a good 5-day stretch where they can get a good nice break, and then we come back and play in the Longview tournament, which has some excellent teams that will really challenge us and just make us better playing those guys. So we're looking forward to it.
You have in your pool, it looks like a team that's one of the best in the nation, sounds like.
Yes, Provision, I don't really know what they do really well because academies, it's hard to get film and stuff, but just looking them up and looking up some just scores on them, they've played really well. I think they're ranked 12th in the nation. They've played some really good ball teams and scoring like 100 a game. So it'd be fun to play those guys. I think that would get us ready for the playoffs, that type of game, and just kind of really expose us into the areas we really need to work on. So looking forward to that.
Points you made very early, 1-0 in district. That's awfully big. A win this time of year counts just as much as one in January or February.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just want to keep winning at this point. We always want to get better, but these wins count for something and count for, district championships, which we're trying to compete for. And then hopefully, just keep winning in the playoffs. But you do have to take it one game at a time, so hopefully we keep doing that.
All right. That's Channel 18 TV News for today. The Channel 18 TV News will be going on hiatus for 1 week. We'll be back on December 29th. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Don Julian filling in for Jimmy Rogers, and so long, everyone.
Bob is our commissary guy who comes in and sells the stuff to the inmates so they can have the extra stuff that we allow them to have. And 3 sheriffs. Count me.
Do what?
How many sheriffs?
3.
He started with Mark Bassham and Bill Dirks and now me. So Bob's one of them you can't buy far, so we just did this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Whatever it is. My God, 3 $100 bills.
No one else has anything they want to say? Get something to eat. Yeah, I told him. Yeah, come on, let's get something to eat. Feel that. What's that made of? Silk. I ain't got a clue. Seal and everything. Yeah. Some kind of you want to get something first?
Too much. Too much.
I'll kiss you.